Champion Lakes in Perth, Australia's newest racetrack, which is host to the second only national championships in Perth since 1955. With around 1,300 athletes set to race at age, school, club and elite level, we're expecting some exceptional racing over this hot weekend.
They're through the 1,500 metres in the men's under-19 Cox's Bear sponsored. The title holders here, Adelaide not having a crew in the final. University of Queensland winning 1-2 at the moment. That'll please my commentator being from Queensland. Texas Lawton and Angus Lillycrap in the lead. David Dancer coaching that crew as he's coaching the second crew as well. Matt Hart and Daniel McCarthy on lane 3. At the 1,500 it was 5:40.92, margin 4.97, or about 2.5 lengths in this class of boat. The French school from Hobart was in third place, Jacob Cooper and Nicola Reeve, coached by Mark Stott. And they look like taking out the bronze medal on lane 6. Then back in fourth place is Sydney Rowing Club, Luke State and Sean Madeley, coached by Lachlan Carter and Tom Morris. 2 here in the under-19 men's Coxless pair, coming down towards its conclusion, with the crew nearest the judge on lane 5, Texas Lawton and Angus Lillycrap leading all the way, coached by David Dancer, who's also in charge of the second crew. They win by 1.5 lengths from Matt Hart and Daniel McCarthy, also from University of Queensland, in a time of 7:30.49. Margin there is 3.82, then a further 9.01 seconds back to the French school from Hobart on lane 6 in third place, taking out the bronze medal, followed by the Sydney Rowing Club crew on lane 4 in fourth place, and fifth was Trinity College A&A Composite on lane 2. Down the page in 295, blank 5.2413, 7:30.49, 3.82, 9.01 and 3.12.
For the under-19 quad in my heat for my schoolboy crew as well today. So.
And where are you actually from, sorry?
Canberra.
From a school?
Yeah, Radford College in Canberra.
What are your hopes for the future?
Firstly making the Australian junior team, and then I'll see where it goes from there.
So with your win today, how does that put you on the ladder to get up to the Olympics?
Well, hopefully it'll step me up a bit in the eyes of the selectors.
And how much training have you done for this event?
I don't know, a few times a week, just lots of long distance fitness stuff and things.
And a lot of early mornings?
Lots of early mornings.
A great race going on for those minor medals here, but the gold medal certainly in the keeping of Hugh and Tamar, Chloe Renner-Carr, Stephanie Williams from Tamar Rowing Club, Eleni Kalamanos and Mel Flanagan from the Huon Rowing Club, coached by Paul Newbon and Stuart Sayer, making every post a winner all the way down the course, increasing their lead out to about 2.5 lengths. Down on the inside station here, Griffith University, Surfers Paradise, Coomera Anglican College and Pine Rivers in second place. Alice Buddha, Bronte Connican and Bianca Robinson and Rosalind Cartmill, coached by Jenny Pemberton, Richard Patterson and Robin Thomason. They're holding down second place narrowly from the Walford Anglican School from South Australia, Georgie Osborne, Hannah Jury, Emma Bridgen and Meg Barnett, coached by Vicky Spencer. But down towards the finishing line comes the Huon Tamar crew on lane 3. A lead all the way to take out the gold medal in the under-19 women's Coxless quad scull. Across the line first, 2.5 lengths clear over the crew from Walford Anglican School crew. Going to be almost a dead heat for second. I couldn't pick it there. We'll have to leave that one to the judge. And then the other crews are coming through well back at the rim of the field.
We're here with Chris, Head of Technology. Chris, thanks for taking the time to speak to us. What do you do on days like today?
Days like today are a pretty busy day, particularly with racing at sort of 5-minute, 7-minute intervals. So our role is basically to collect all the split times which come from all the different 500 metre points, put that all together against the respective races and then send those results both up to the judges to be made official, but we're also pushing that live results out to our website as well. So people who are remote from the venue can log on to the website and actually see the crews coming down the course virtually, obviously, but as the racing unfolds for each race.
number 308, the men's under-19 quad scull. Title holders here from last year was Sydney Grafton High School. Not represented in the final except on lane 3. Sydney is represented. 306 now official. We've got that, the under-17 quad scull with Kinross Walleroy School first, Trinity College second on lane 2, third was Essendon lane 6, fourth was Newcastle Grammar on lane 4, fifth was Prince Alfred College on lane 1, and sixth was Swan River Trinity College on lane 5. Down the page in event 306, 521, 463, 719.28, 2.13, 2.19 and 0.26. Now Essendon snatching the bronze medal away from Newcastle Grammar. This next event was event 50, and as we've been calling, the crew from St George in the lead, but they're being hotly pressed by this University of Queensland Torrens Radford College crew on the far side, followed by the Sydney Mossman crew. St George, the early leaders, have dropped back into 4th place now, behind the crew from Centenary, Comeray, Anglican College, Somerset, Tweed Heads, Coolangatta. But across there, second from the far side, University of Queensland Torrens, Radford College, Matt Hart, Luke Letcher, Riley Lum and Daniel McCarthy going down to the line first to score by half a length from Sydney Mossman in second place, followed by the crew from A&A University of Western Australia. Then followed St George, who led early on in the race in 4th place. And the Women's Eights Championship of Australia coming down, the Open Women's Eights for the Florence Eaton Trophy, where Melbourne University are the title holders. We don't have a crew on the final here today, and this is event number 6 on the program. Fortunately, a disappointing entry. Only 2 starters, and one of those crews has a commanding lead, which is the commercial Pine Rivers Toowong crew. They came through the 1500 in 5:15.67, well clear of the Western Australian crew on the Western Australian Rowing Club and Fremantle. The margin there at the 1500 was 15.63 seconds. So just the gold and silver medals in this event. Open Women's 8, Louise Raven, Claire Raven, Sonia Graham, Olivia Brasasco, Charlotte Travers in the stroke seat, Elizabeth Salisbury in the cock seat, coached by Richard Patterson and Kieran Dwyer. Down to the line with 3 or 4 strokes to go. Commercial Pine Rivers Toowong will take out the gold medal in the Women's Open 8, scoring by about 6 lengths at the finish from West Australia Fremantle, and taking out the Florence Eaton Trophy. 6:58.53 was the winning time. 6:58.53, the winning time to Commercial Pine Rivers Toowong, with the second crew from West Australia Fremantle going across the line now, and the margin at the finish was 20.53 seconds.
Girls, congratulations on your win. How long have you been training for this event?
Well, I've been rowing for almost 10 years, so we haven't really spent a lot of time training in this 8, but we came together pretty well on the day, so we're happy about that.
And the event you just won was what, sorry?
The Open Women's 8.
And so can you just explain that to people that might not know?
So it's a crew with 8 girls in it and a cox. This is Libby. She's in charge of calling our race and steering the boat. And yeah, it's basically the Women's 8, which is the biggest boat for women to row in.
And so you're the cox, Libby. How do you get voted that position?
Well, I'm the smallest, and I've got special weight considerations I've got to go on to. But sort of you get chosen based on your ability, and yeah, that's really it. I think that I row with these girls a lot, so I'm put into cox this boat.
And ambitions for the future, girls, where do you hope to go with your rowing?
As far as possible. Rowing for Australia is probably most people's dream here, so if that can happen, then that'd be great.
First thing they do, particularly with the lightweights, they check their weight earlier in the week and make sure that they're good to go. and the boys have to be the average weight of a men's lightweight crew has to be 70, and no individual rower can be more than 72.5. So all of that involves quite a lot of careful planning on their behalf.
Another race where there's only 2 starters. The men's open Cox 4, race 299. And they're coming towards the 1,500 metre mark. We don't see this event very often these days in the Cox 4, or entries certainly. Only 3 entries, but only 2 starting at these championships, as the Coxless 4 has taken over to a great extent in 4-odd rowing. And Australia's had great success, of course, with the awesome force of putting us on the back, but right back in 1990 at the World Rowing Championships, followed up in many wins, including 92 and 96 at the Olympic regattas in Barcelona, or Lake Banyoles, and at Lake Lanier in Atlanta at that time. So at Sydney, A&A Western Australia still comfortably in the lead in this Cox 4. Through the 1,500 they came in 5:06.46. The margin 2.86 back to the Adelaide University crew, who certainly look like taking up the silver medal. Race 297 is through. That's the men's open double scull. Lindisfarne Mercantile, David Crawshay and Scott Brennan first on lane 3. Tamar second on lane 5. Blair Tunovich and Alistair Foote. In lane 4 was third Rod Chisholm and Tom Gibson from Huon UDS. Down the page in 297, open double scull. 6:4.13.25. Winning time by Scott Brennan and David Crawshay. 6:43.65. Margins 5.77, 2.79 and 14.13. And in perfect conditions for 4-odd rowing, with a coxswain right up the front of the boat. It's a Sydney A&A West Australian composite crew, stroked by Dominic Grimm from Sydney Rowing Club, and coxed by Kendall Brodie, coming down to the line first. They go across the line, a length and 3/4 clear over the Adelaide University combination in second place. The winning combination there, Thomas Nelligan from A&A, Nick Wakefield from Western Australia Rowing Club, Reece Grant from A&A, Dominic Grimm from Sydney Rowing Club, Kendall Brodie, the cox, coached by Tom Morris and Jamie Hewlett. The time 6:47.84, 6:47.84, and the margin 4.74 unofficially.
How long have you guys trained for this?
It's our first row. First row together.
First row together just then?
Yes, that's right.
And you won?
Yes. Yep.
That's quite impressive, isn't it? And where are you from, guys?
I'm from Sydney.
WA.
We're all from Perth.
Oh, okay. So explain to me how this comes together then. How do they find all you guys to be in the same race?
My current coach at Sydney is originally from Western Australia, so he's got contacts back here, and I'm the only senior athlete at my club at the moment, so I needed someone to row with, and thankfully we had a spare seat in this boat, so I could jump in.
And will you be rowing together again, or that's it now?
We've got another couple of events tomorrow in the open quad and open Coxless 4.
And if you win, what does it mean for you guys?
But if we won, it would be quite amazing, because we're racing against a couple of world champions in both events, so that would actually be unexpected, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, it's great to have the Nationals here in Perth, in our home state. We took a contingent of about 9 athletes over to the Nationals last year in South Australia, and this year we've got a contingent of about 45 athletes. So it's really good to have it here in WA at Champion Lakes in Armidale, and it's a growing club. A really good club. We won the state champion pennant, so we're the champion club in 2011, and building from strength to strength.
And who are your biggest competitors?
There's a lot of crews out there. It depends on really what race that you're looking at. For the state crews, we'd be up against Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Obviously offer some pretty stiff competition. Yeah, the other crews, the competition depends from race to race.
event's underway. The adaptive men's legs, trunk and arms, single scull Division 2. The holders here are Nestles, and they've got the two crews racing. Aaron Skinner and Chris Murray are the two scullers, and the umpire's boat right in behind them to try and make sure they don't row on top of each other. And Tom Bertrand still very much involved with Val Bertrand in the development of adaptive rowing down there at the Nestles Club in Victoria near Warrnambool. And those two scullers, Aaron Skinner and Chris Murray, pretty close together. One of them rowing in behind the other one now. They coming down towards the halfway mark. They're rowing over 500 metres. The next adaptive event, which is race 312, will be over the full, oh sorry, will be over 1,000 metres. So coming down is the adaptive men's legs and trunks. Chris Murray has gone from lane 4 to about lane 2 at the moment. He's gone right across the other side. And in the meantime, steering a pretty close straight course is Aaron Skinner of the Nestles Rowing Club, coming down in the leading position in this, the adaptive men's legs, trunks and arms single scull Division 2. Down towards the line comes Aaron Skinner to go across the line, and the second place getter Chris Murray just stopping a little bit before the line, but he will be in second place on lane 4. Well done, guys. As the results through for 309.
Nearly 6 years ago, a car accident nearly claimed my life. I have since then discovered rowing, and I have joined Balmain Rowing Club and not only become the state champion for single and double adaptive rowing, but now I've won the national championship, and it makes me feel spectacular. I'm delighted for myself and for my coaches and for the club.
And you've done all this in just over 12 months, you said?
Just over 12 months, that's right.
And so how much training's gone into what you've won today?
A significant amount of training, yep. I see a personal trainer and I row 5 days a week. I'm planning to take my rowing to the Olympics in Rio in 2016.
The Australian Rowing Championships is becoming a larger event every year. It's professional, it's well conducted, and the standards are getting higher. And it was a challenge to us in Western Australia to make sure that we conducted an event which met those standards. My organising committee were full of dedicated, very competent people, and they enlisted the help of 300 volunteers to help out over 7 days of the event, plus 2 days of setup and 1 day of bump out. Rowing Australia are very, very happy with the conduct of this event. And they acknowledge that we have set another benchmark for the next states to follow. And we're proud of that. It's good, that's really good. And you'll see by the smile on my face, I'm very happy.
Well, that wraps up the first day here at the National Australian Rowing Championship Finals. Don't go away. After the break, we'll be back with more from Champion Lakes.